We all love to use social media to share our lives with friends and family or to document every moment of a trip we take. But did you know that there's a darker side to it? There are some things about social media that it doesn't tell you. So get ready to learn more about the not so pretty parts of posting your life online. Let's start with the first one, catfishing. Catfishing is when someone creates a fake profile on a social media platform and then uses it to deceive other people. They may do this for any number of reasons, but it often involves creating a false sense of intimacy in order to manipulate or exploit others. For example, a catfish might pose as an attractive single man or woman in order to trick people into romantic relationships. They might create a fake profile with stolen photos and then reach out to as many people as possible, hoping to find someone who will trust them enough to send money or personal information. Catfishing can also involve creating fake groups or pages in order to gain followers or to spread misinformation. The intent behind catfishing can vary, but it often involves deception and manipulation. It can be difficult to spot a catfish, but it's important to be aware of the risks. If someone you meet online seems too good to be true, it's important to take a step back and do some investigating before you trust them. Next up is the rise of cyberbullying. Cyberbullying has become a serious problem on social media platforms. It can take many forms, from nasty comments to full-on impersonation. When people feel anonymous online, they often feel emboldened to say or do things they would never say or do in person. This can be incredibly hurtful and damaging to the victims of cyberbullying. Social media companies are working hard to combat this issue, but it's ultimately up to each individual user to decide what they're going to tolerate. If you see something that you don't like, don't just ignore it. Report it and move on. Don't feed the trolls. Now let's talk about the impact on mental health. Studies have shown that using social media can have a negative impact on our mental health. It can make us feel inadequate when we compare ourselves to others or when we see images of people living seemingly better lives than ours. Social media can also contribute to anxiety and depression by making us constantly feel like we need to be connected to the internet and by giving us a constant stream of potentially triggering content. That being said, social media isn't all bad. It can be a great way to stay connected with friends and family or to stay up to date on current events. It can also be a great source of inspiration and motivation. The key to using social media in a healthy way is to be aware of its potential impact on our mental health and to take steps to protect ourselves against the negative effects. One way to do this is to take regular breaks from social media and to be mindful of the content we re-consuming. Another way is to focus on real-life relationships and activities rather than online ones. By taking these steps, we can help ensure that social media doesn't have a negative impact on our mental health. Alright, let's continue with another negative aspect of social media, the loss of privacy. When we post something online, we're essentially making it public. This means that anyone can see what we've posted, including our personal information such as our name, address, or phone number. This can lead to privacy violations such as identity theft or stalking. In addition, once something is online, it's very difficult to get it removed even if it does violate our privacy rights. There are a few things we can do to protect ourselves against privacy violations on social media. First, we should be careful about the information we share publicly. Avoid posting personal information such as your full name, address, or phone number. Second, we can review the privacy settings on our accounts to ensure that only authorized people can access our information. Finally, we should report any privacy violations to the social media platform immediately. By following these tips, we can help ensure that our privacy is respected on social media. Now let's discuss the impact on relationships. It's no secret that social media has changed the way we interact with each other. We're now able to stay connected with friends and family members no matter where they are in the world. But this constant connectivity has also created some problems, especially when it comes to relationships. One of the most obvious ways that social media impacts relationships is through the opportunity for infidelity. With dating apps like Tinder and Bumble at our fingertips, it's easier than ever to cheat on your partner. You could argue that these apps are simply a modern-day version of what was already possible through online chat rooms and forums. But there's no denying that the rise of dating apps has made cheating more common than ever. Another way that social media impacts relationships is through the constant temptation to compare yourself to others. When you scroll through Instagram, you rebound to come across pictures of people who seem to be having a better time than you or who have a better body or a better life. This can cause you to feel inadequate and unhappy with your own life, which can put a strain on your relationship. It's important to remember that social media is often just a highlight reel of people's lives. What you see on Instagram or Facebook is often not representative of what their life is really like. Just because someone appears to have a perfect life on social media doesn't mean that they're actually happy. Alright, let's keep going with the next point. How about the spread of fake news? Fake news has become a major problem on social media platforms. It refers to the spread of false or misleading information that is often disguised as legitimate journalism. Fake news can be spread intentionally or unintentionally and can have a negative impact on society. It can create confusion and mistrust and can make it difficult to separate fact from fiction. This can lead to people making decisions based on false information and can ultimately erode public trust in media outlets. To combat the spread of fake news, it's important to be aware of the warning signs. Be skeptical of information that seems too good to be true and check multiple sources to verify the accuracy of news stories. Additionally, it's important to be aware of the sources you're getting your news from and to avoid relying on social media platforms as a primary source of news. By taking these steps, we can help ensure that we're not falling victim to the spread of fake news. Moving on to the next point, I want to talk about how social media impacts our attention span. Research has shown that using social media can decrease our attention span. The constant notifications and the need to switch between different apps can make it difficult to focus on one task for an extended period of time. This can impact our ability to concentrate on work or school and can make it difficult to enjoy activities that require focus, such as reading a book or having a conversation. To mitigate the negative impact of social media on our attention span, it's important to take regular breaks from our devices and to set aside time each day to disconnect from social media altogether. Additionally, we can practice mindfulness and focus on the task at hand rather than constantly checking our phones for notifications. By taking these steps, we can help ensure that our attention span isn't negatively impacted by social media use. Finally, let's talk about how social media can make you feel like you're always behind. We're constantly bombarded with images of people who seem to be living better lives than ours. We see pictures of people on vacation in exotic locations, eating at fancy restaurants, wearing the latest fashion trends. And it's easy to feel like you're falling behind. This feeling of being behind can lead to feelings of inadequacy, jealousy, and resentment. It can make it difficult to appreciate what you have and can cause you to constantly strive for more. To avoid feeling like you're always behind, it's important to remember that social media is often just a highlight reel of people's lives. What you see on Instagram or Facebook is often not representative of what their life is actually like. Just because someone appears to be living a better life on social media doesn't mean that they actually are. Additionally, it's important to focus on your own goals and aspirations rather than comparing yourself to others. By doing so, you can avoid the negative feelings that can come from feeling like you're always behind. Social media has both positive and negative aspects. It's important to be aware of the potential dangers of using social media so that we can take steps to protect ourselves and others. From cyberbullying to the spread of fake news, there are a lot of things that it doesn't tell you that can harm us if we're not careful. However, by being aware of these issues and taking the necessary precautions, we can help ensure that social media is used in a safe and responsible way. So, what are your thoughts on this topic? What do you think social media doesn't tell you that it should? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching.